Yo, what's going on, guys? Sinister Skater here. The GKS is finally, in my eyes, a usable weapon. There was an update earlier this week, update 1.19, which had a major change to all of the SMGs and the pistols. All the SMGs and the pistols are now straight up hit scan weapons, which did crazy changes for the GKS in my opinion. In Black Ops 4, most of the weapons in multiplayer are technically projectile weapons. Now, if you guys don't know what the difference is between hit scan and projectile, hit scan means that when you aim and shoot your weapon, the bullet will instantly register as a hit wherever you have it aimed at. So for example, if you're aiming at an enemy, as soon as you pull that trigger, as long as your crosshairs are on the enemy, it will register as a hit. Now, a projectile weapon, if you're aiming and then pull the trigger, it will take a short amount of time for that bullet to actually travel to where it needs to hit, so it means it'll take a little bit of time for the bullet to register as a hit. An exaggerated example, but the Hellion Salvo in this game is a rocket launcher, a projectile. You shoot it and it will take a certain amount of time for that rocket to travel and hit said target. Same thing with a projectile, bullet-based weapon. It's not as exaggerated, but you'll shoot and it'll take like a couple milliseconds for that bullet to actually hit. In Blackout, for example, you're trying to shoot people at long distances, trying to track them. It's hard to hit people when they're moving because you can't shoot exactly where they are. You have to lead your target a little bit, and that's the case in multiplayer. Now, most weapons' bullet velocities in multiplayer are fast enough to where they feel like classic hit scan Call of Duty weapons. You don't feel the projectileness to them, but with all the weapons being projectile at its core, that's what allows for trading kills to happen in Black Ops 4, and I'm sure everyone who's played the game has experienced that once. So I'm gonna preface this, I'm not 100% sure, I have no data to support this. This is all going of what I felt. There's a chance I can be completely wrong. I'm sure you guys will let me know down below in the comments. After this update, I've used the GKS and it feels like the weapon is now hit scan. It feels the difference between pre-update and post-update is most notable in the GKS. And I feel like that's because before this update 1.19, the bullet, the travel time, the bullet velocity, muzzle velocity, whatever the heck the technical term is for what I'm talking about, was really slow on the GKS and just took forever, or took slightly longer for that bullet to travel and hit the enemy compared to some of the other SMGs and weapons in the game. And once I saw the patch notes for update 1.9, I was really excited to try out the weapon and instantly again notice a difference. I haven't run any numbers, I haven't looked at the nerfed Switchblade and Damon, but it seems like the GKS is a very competitive submachine gun now. It may be my go-to weapon from now on. It actually just feels super responsive when I use it, and it connects, and the bullets connect when I feel like they should when I'm actually shooting and getting in gunfights and like that. Before, I absolutely hated the GKS. I put it at worst in the best to worst for the SMGs, and now I'm talking well about the weapon. The low recoil makes the GKS super easy to use. It has one of the slowest time to kills out of all the SMGs, which is one of the reasons I ranked it so low in best to worst. But I'm curious if the GKS being a hit scan weapon now changes the time to kill at all, if it speeds up the time to kill at all. I feel like it would, but I'm not smart enough to do the math on that. Of course, all SMGs would technically be sped up in time to kill, but hypothetically the GKS would have the biggest buff since its original velocity was absurdly slow compared to other SMGs. And I'm wondering if the GKS is a statistically good weapon now or not, if it's just something that I'm feeling and it was just so bad before that making a hit scan and making it feel responsible just making me like fall in love with this thing on first sight. I'm wondering, if you're smart, run the numbers for me and let us all know down below in the comments. But what I do know is the GKS, it feels like it's a brand new gun. I recommend you go ahead and give it a try with this new update. Go watch the end of my submachine gun best to worst episode to hear my original thoughts and compare it to how I'm talking about the GKS now. One other thing I wanted to mention is the GKS has Long Barrel 2 as an attachment, and Long Barrel 2 was supposed to increase the muzzle velocity based off the description of the weapon, but some people have said that it has no effect and doubles the range. I felt like I just always used Long Barrel 2 because something was up with the GKS before this update, and now with this change I'm wondering if they'll change Long Barrel 2 for the GKS or the 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬, which is a pistol that has long barrel 2 as well, and give it a different benefit, other than the only benefit being right now is the increased range benefit, which was like the secondary thing to that perk. So yeah, if you're accustomed to using long barrel 2 on the GKS, I just want to say that that's no longer a necessity to get that velocity change, and that might have not even been the case beforehand. But yeah, man, GKS, go ahead and give it a try. I'm liking it. You saw some of the gameplay with it. One of these games was my first time ever using the GKS, and usually I did bad with this thing. I was just kind of turning up with it right away. So yeah, give it a try. Let me know if I'm crazy or not down below in the comments. Are you feeling the same thing, or am I just talking out my ass right now? Let me know down below. But that'll be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, get subscribed, and turn on bell notifications. Links down below in the description for 10% off Control Freaks, as well as Into the Am apparel. You can also find my Amazon associates link down there if you want to help support the channel by shopping through that link. But again, thanks for watching, guys. My name is 𝐶𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.